So let's look at here then. The kid with the teal panties, the boy, it's a boy, by the way. You see he's holding his dog. See, he's got his dog right there. Here's the news. Isn't that cute? A purple coat, which is the combination of the red and blue. And then she's got the white Masonic gloves on with her eyes closed. This is the house, 15. They made sure to show you that. None of this, as you recall, was done with Stephanie. Zero. Nothing. But here, like I said, so let's look and see what 15 is, shall we? What is 15? The symbolic meaning of 15 is best explained by the 15th card of the major arcana in the tarot deck, the devil. Imagine that. Imagine that character, mother, being involved in something this dastardly. What a surprise. What a surprise. And let's just go get a picture of Mommy Dearest real quick. There's a picture of Mommy Dearest right there. Remember I showed you? The mirrored? You tell me why the news would have to run this picture of this kid mirrored. See his dog? See it? Let's just do this. Let's just draw a line right down the fucking middle here. Why would you show that in a news? And they showed that super fast. I had to fight to catch that. You see this is really, 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 really demonic shit that's going on here. And this is just mirroring what happened at Stephanie's house. So here you have the yellow and pink for sex and violence. Here you've got the seal right here in the background. Here you've got the pedophile bear. Here you've got the young boy, teal panties or underwear. You got the 15 for the mother, and you got the kid. You got the kids mirrored. What else do you fucking need? This is a ritualistic fucking thing they're doing, and they did it to my girlfriend, and now they did it to these people. Believe me when I tell you this. The police are in on this, and I'm sending them a thing. And I'm going to tell them, you are guilty. Everything I'm showing you here, I'm sending to them. Nobody either has the knowledge or the nuts to do this shit. Well, I guess I have to. So, we're going to do a little refresher here first. So, this is Stephanie's backyard, supposedly. I mean, I've seen it, but I've never personally been there. Here's the Asherah pole, which represents a penis. Here's the one-eye symbol of Baal. The single eye represents an asshole, so now you've got the whole sodomy thing going on. You've got the sunflowers here, which represents the daisy of death. Now, this was an unrelated story. The murder basement, you see it's black and white for the two sides of the brain. Okay, that's the same as the red and the blue. You see how this is white? How much I do trees for a living, so I know there's. You see how this tree over here looks exactly the same? It's because they're both pine trees. The Asherah poles, a lot of the times, are made out of pine trees. So what they would do is they would tie you facing it with a rope that went around from here, from this foot to this foot. And then your arms would be pulled around here, and your arms would be tied, and then they would fuck you from behind. it says, which is bizarre, it's the same four people. Sarah, Aaron Arnold, Joe Francis, because Joe is Fabris Hesiod, right? So let's look at that real quick. So then we look, this is Stephanie's address. I know she lived there. Well, why does it say current owner Hesiod R. Frapkes, Estiagabu A. Frapkes? Well, when you look it up, Joseph R. Francis, search instead for Hesiod R. Frapkes and Stephanie Estiagabu Francis. That's interesting. So what are these names that they're using, this Og crap? Og. Og. Right here. Here's Og. There's Og. There's an Asherah pole. Notice they also put this in the black and white, just like they put this in the black and white. Because it's what it is. It's this whole act of sodomy fucking up their heads. Right? So we know that Hesiod and Stiagabu is Stephanie and Joe. But who's Og? Because this is all going to make sense here in a minute. Now, I was on Stephanie's classmates page. Somehow I was able to get on there. And one of her friends from high school sent her this. Well, these are portholes. Witches have these things. Stephanie had these all over her house. Matter of fact, let me go get a picture. So if you look, this is Stephanie's picture. She's got 3 of them on her door right there. You see? She's got 3 of them right there. But it's this word right here which gives us away and explains something that I've been trying to figure out. You see, it says Anak, and it's got what would look like a devil's tail. Hang on. And so we look, Anak, the Anakim, were the Nephilim, the Remphan, the Zuzim, Emin, and the Amorites. In the Bible, Anakim were a group of giants who lived in Canaan before the Israelites arrived. Og was a giant mentioned in the Bible. These are not giant people. You know who this is? What was this guy's name? Darth Vader. What was his name? It was a human. Anakin Skywalker. So let's take a look at this and break this thing down. First of all, this is the edge of the cube. This is the top. This is the face. The eyes are the Mickey Mouse ears. The head is a penis. It's black for the Saturnian color of authority. You got the white and black stripes for the right and left side of the brain. But what's even more interesting, and this is what gave it away. So remember how I kept saying this picture's off and her neck is too long, it's anatomically incorrect? Well, now I know why. The Anakim were a group of giants who lived in Canaan before the Israelites arrived. The word Anakim comes from the Hebrew word Anak, which means giant or long neck. These are not giants like you think, and I'm about to show you what it means. That's why they drew Stephanie, the picture, with a long neck, because she's part of that group. that is why they have this right here. A 33 right there. This whole thing is revolving around the fallen angel stuff. And unfortunately, somehow she's caught up in it, or she is one. And so let's not forget this picture. This is Joe. Whose hand is this? No human's hand is that big. It may be if you're dealing with one of these guys, one of the fallen angels. And let's not forget the message that was sent to me, clearly right in front of my face. Remember this? Those numbers and that word. And what are those numbers affiliated with? East, 33 degrees north. And who was that? It's Mount Hermon. What is Mount Hermon? Well, you've seen it a million times. Right here. Biblically, stars, trees, and stones are referred to as demons. And here they are here, right? On Mount Hermon. Right there. And you notice the word paramount? Para. Let's see what we can go with that. I already know what it is, but there's about 5 or 6 different definitions for para, but one of them means abnormal. So you have an abnormal mounting. So when we look at that, we could imply the song she'll be coming around the mountain when she comes. Get it? It's got a sexual connotation to it. So we know now why they use that picture of Stephanie. Because she's part of the whole Anakim, which is the Remphan, which is the Og. Get it? Now, the whole giant thing. You're going to find out it's a matter of perspective what this is. So we're going to go to a famous movie, which is directly connected, by the way. So here's your biblical bullshit where they're trying to tell you. And this is interesting. Numbers 13:33. We're back into that number again. So they were big, and then over time it says they got smaller and smaller and smaller. I mean, that's what it says. Well, here's the same picture over here because it's a matter of perspective. This one, then the next go around is just a reflection, which is smaller, 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 smaller. So if I was to take, a brush here, we'll go with the skinny one right here. So this was the original guy before his mind got fucking destroyed. Oh, let me just do it. We'll just use red. And we got one loop, and then another 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 loop. Do you see? Do you understand? So we can do the same thing over here again. So you got one loop, you got another loop, you got another loop, you got another loop, you got another loop. All they're showing you is it's just a repeat pattern. And so they show you this by making it look like the guy's smaller, but what it really is just looking off into the distance and it keeps going forever, like that mirror picture. Now, let's look at who's behind all of that. From the same movie, Citizen Kane, they spelled it Kane. It's Cain, biblical. He's the one who can't die. Interesting, huh? Now here's Mother, the infinite. Now see, that's the key word there. The infinite mirror. But look at her reflection. Each one of these reflections should have her looking this way, but if you notice, she looks this way, then she looks that way, then she looks this way, then she looks this way. Because it's Mother that sodomizes the child and puts the child into an endless loop so he can never get to the Father. Oh, the Good Fairy. Oh, is that what they call that? Is that what that is? The Good Fairy. Because the number 13 is the number of the devil. That's why they don't like to put it in elevators and floors. But I guess that's a good fairy here. They weren't giants. They were normal, and it's a mental thing. And every time they go around, they get a little bit smaller because it's the perspective of the mirror. So Stephanie seems to have been, as I stated earlier, tied in with that system. Probably done to her as a child. And if we were to show this, let me see if I can find that picture.